Good morning. So welcome to another reading vlog. I only just finished the last reading vlog off because the weekend was very sunny and a good time. But that was last week. Let's talk about this week. So this week I've got a bit of reading that I want to do. I didn't manage to get to the Monstress series, which is a graphic novel series. The 4th volume just came out and I've decided I'm going to reread the whole series. I love the art in this series, but I have no freaking clue what the hell is going on, so I'm going to read it from the start and hopefully I can change that. I also started Peeps by Scott Westerfeld, which is this really weird vampire story I borrowed from my sister. I want to try and finish that off this week. I haven't gotten very far through it yet. And then I also want to read Weather Child by Philippa Ballantyne. This is a self-published book by a New Zealand author that I've read before, but I really want to reread it. It's the last book. These are the last books on my October TBR, so if I can finish these, well, I'll kind of succeed, although I got rid of one of the books, or 2 of the books, a few of the books, but these are the last ones that I actually want to read this month, which the month is ending this week. And then it will be November, and then I will all be starting NaNoWriMo, so that's going to take up a lot of the future reading vlogs, but probably not much of this one. And then also on Friday, my brother is leaving to move to Australia, which is going to be emotional, probably. Sad to see my little brother growing up, but happy to see my little brother growing up. So anyway, he's leaving. So there's a few things going on this week and there's a lot that I want to read. Today I just filmed my November TBR, so I know what I'm trying to read in November. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Today I'm pretty much just going to put all my videos together, try and get some reading done. Hopefully go for a run because I have been avoiding that for a little while and I know that it makes me feel much happier and healthier, so I need to do that. But that's pretty much all, so welcome to the reading vlog. Let's see how the week goes. So good evening. I've had a couple of quite productive days, so that's good. And also I have been reading an audiobook the last couple of days while I've gone for some walks with my sister. I've actually been listening to Quiet by Susan Cain, which is a book all about introverts. To be honest, so far it's not the introvert book I'm looking for. It's really interesting and well written, but it's still really focused on the idea that it's okay to be an introvert. And when I started looking for introvert books, I'm looking for something that tells me how to use my strengths as an introvert. I don't need to be told that it's okay to be an introvert. Also, I have cream all over my face, so if it's shiny in weird ways, that is why. Anyway, I am still quite enjoying it. I'm learning some interesting things, but it's still not what I was looking for. I kind of suspect that the book I was looking for doesn't exist. But never mind. So for right now, I am trying to finish off Peeps. I'm about 200 pages in. I'm going to try and finish it tonight, but I suspect I'm going to fall asleep before I actually finish it. In this book, in between every chapter, there's a chapter about parasites and gives you a little bit of information about real world parasites, which is kind of gross, but also really interesting. And it does that because these vampires are kind of caused by a parasite, and it's a really interesting take on vampires for sure. But there was a chapter that talked about Crohn's disease, and I have Crohn's disease, so that was interesting. It was talking about how no one really knows what causes Crohn's disease, but it is true that it's only really prevalent in first world countries. So one theory is that it's caused by a lack of something. Because we have very clean water in the first world, we're potentially not getting certain bacteria or possibly parasites. That's the theory this book puts forward, which is an interesting theory. Possibly true, maybe not. Who knows? Crohn's is a big unknown. Fun times. Anyway, I'm going to try and read as much of this as I can before I fall asleep, so I will see you tomorrow. Hi, so I am about to head out to return this book to the library. I haven't really been talking about this recently just because it's taken me so long to finish reading it, and it's kind of more study than reading, but this is The How of Happiness by Sonia Lyubomirsky. I can't really say that, but I do really recommend this book. I think it has a lot of really helpful strategies, and I think even if you struggle with depression, even though it's not like primarily targeted at depressed people, it does deal with depression in a pragmatic way. And I really liked what it said about how depressed people don't want to be just not depressed. Depressed people actually want to be happy. So these strategies can be useful even if you're depressed, as well as being helpful for people who aren't struggling with depression. So I really enjoyed reading this book, and I want to try and put together some of the material from it in a way that's more easily consumed than reading a book. Anyway, I've had that for so long that it really needs to go back to the library today. So while I'm doing that walk, I will try and finish off Quiet. I might not finish it quite on that walk, but I'm also going for a walk with my sister later. So sometime today I should be able to finish off Quiet. I did also just manage to finish off Peeps. I think I was about 20 pages short last night when I finally fell asleep, but I've just finished it off now. It is a really strange book. I really liked the concept of vampires as parasites, and I thought all the information about parasites was interesting, and it didn't have that really romance heavy focus that a lot of vampire novels have, but it was very sex focused. Although not really. There was some sex focus because the parasite is spread through sex. I did enjoy the cats in this. I don't know, there were definitely elements that I enjoyed, but at the same time I do think it was a little bit slow in some parts. It wasn't always clear what the main character was trying to investigate or what he was doing. Anyway, if you want like a weird vampire book, probably I would recommend that. I know vampires are having like this resurgence at the moment, and I think it's more the romantic vampires, which this is not, but still, if you want a not so romantic vampire book, that's an option. So then the next book that I will be picking up will be Weather Child by Philippa Ballantyne. I'm excited to get to that, although I'm not sure whether I'm going to actually finish it by the end of the month, although I want to, as well as I want to read those Monstress books, but I've got some other things that I want to do as well, so I'm just balancing everything out, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to go to the library. Hello, so today mostly my plan had been to work on my NaNoWriMo prep, but then I just wasn't really in the mood, so I decided instead, like, just screw it. I'm going to spend my whole day trying to finish off The Weather Child as well as doing a few other things. But then once I made that decision and tried to focus on this, my brain, which just hates doing whatever I've planned to do, decided, actually, let's do my NaNoWriMo prep. So I feel like I hacked my brain and managed to get it to do what I actually wanted it to do. But as far as this book goes, I'm about halfway through. So this book is set in this world where any children born who are like first generation in New Zealand have the possibility of getting this like symbiote awakening in them so they need to be in the first generation of their family line that's born in New Zealand, and then they need to have something traumatic happen to them, and in that case they get this like symbiote that lets them have magical abilities. So this is written by a New Zealand author, and she ended up self-publishing it because she was struggling to find anyone who was willing to publish it. And I believe one of the things she said she got feedback about is that no one would want to read a book about New Zealand having superpowers. And I think the actual problem is that in the beginning of the book there's quite a few bits where it's quite heavy-handed in saying that everyone else is so envious of the New Zealanders, but at the same time it never really shows why people would be envious. It doesn't show in the beginning enough about what they can do with their powers, and most of the time the characters who have these symbiotes are not very happy about it. So then you're like, well, why is everybody envying these New Zealanders? So I can see why she got that feedback, and I think it could have been easily fixed, which is frustrating. I also think just in the beginning the writing was a little bit weak, like setting everything up. It struggled a bit, and there were some sentences I just wanted to like get my red pen out, to be honest. But now it's into this bit where there's kind of this mystery where some of these first children are going missing and they're trying to track them down, and that bit is flowing much better. It's written much better and I'm really enjoying it. And from my previous read of this, I think I remember that that's the bit that I really loved. So I really am looking forward to finishing this. I don't actually know that I'm going to get it finished today now, although probably if I finish it tomorrow I'll still count it in my October wrap up, because like, close enough, right? Right now it's getting a bit late. I have a couple more things I want to sort out before tomorrow NaNoWriMo starts, and as well I'm going to the airport to say goodbye to my brother because he's moving to Australia. So it's going to be an emotional day and also a busy day trying to get started on NaNoWriMo. So I'm going to do a few other things now, and I'm also going to go to the mall and get some snacks. And while I walk there, because I'm going to need some writing snacks tomorrow, right? So while I'm walking there, I will listen to my audiobook of Access Restricted. Again, I'm not sure I'm going to get it finished today, and probably not tomorrow either. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to count tomorrow as part of October, so if I finish anything tomorrow, I'll include it in my wrap-up, but otherwise, I guess it's going to spill over into November. I was trying to avoid spilling things over into November because I know November is going to be so busy, but never mind. At least I'm going into NaNoWriMo with a bit more prep done. So I'm going to go and sort my shit out, and then I'll see you tomorrow for NaNoWriMo. So I just had to go into the depths of my camera settings to try and make me not look like a ghost. Do I still look like a ghost? I'm not sure. It's a beautiful sunny day today, so that's making things very bright, which is good. But reading wise, I haven't been doing so well. I pretty much don't think I've read anything since I last talked to you. Maybe like a tiny bit of Weather Child, but I'm still only like halfway. And I honestly don't think I'm going to read any more of this today because I am going over to Jace's later. We probably won't go anywhere exciting because he does have to work, but I also probably won't get any reading done. The main reason why I haven't been doing any reading is because I have been focusing on NaNoWriMo. Although I say focusing, what I really mean is writing a few words and then playing the stupid cat game on my phone, and then like mucking around and staring into space and being frustrated that it's like impossible to kill my bad guy in my story. But I have written the target word count so far, so I am doing okay with NaNoWriMo. I wish I was doing a bit better, but I'm doing okay. Also yesterday I did go and say goodbye to my brother, and I'm still quite sad about the fact that he's gone. It was sad to see him go. And I can't just go up the road to see him anymore. He's in a whole different country, and he's like growing up. He's like my baby brother. He's 10 years younger than me, so it's emotional to see him grow up, but it's exciting that he's off being a grown-up. So I focus on the exciting part of it and not let myself tear up about it. There is one reading thing that I could update you on, and that is Access Restricted. I did listen to some more of it, and I don't think I talked to you about it yet. Maybe I did. My memory is not good, but anyway, when I came back from buying snacks the other night, it was hinting at a twist that I was so excited for. I was like, got home from my walk and I was singing around the house like, what a cool twist this is going to be if it comes off. And honestly, I feel like it was hope baiting. Is that even a word? No, but like, I think it purposely made you hopeful just to like dash all your hopes to the ground, and I didn't appreciate that. So I've still got a couple more hours to listen to, which I should be able to manage this weekend, so I'll do that. Otherwise, there's no reading updates to give you. I do want to try and fit in reading Monstress as well as finishing this, but I probably won't get home until Sunday sometime, and then I've still got to write my nano words for Sunday and do reading and enjoy the sunshine, and there's just always too many things to do. Anyway, I gotta go actually do some of those things, or otherwise the situation doesn't get any better, but I'll check in again soon. Hi, so it is now Tuesday, which means I'm very behind on everything. Normally I would put this vlog up on Tuesday, but since I'm only just filming this and I still have to edit it and put it up and all that stuff, I think it's gonna be late. But anyway, you already know that it's late. What did I do? So I did manage when I was driving to Jason's and back to finish off listening to Access Restricted. I think it was okay. I just think quite often with dystopians, they're really interesting when they're exploring a cool concept and how it affects people within like a particular boundary, but then usually as the series continues on, it opens up to the rest of the world and suddenly things no longer make sense, and there's all this action and the whole world's being saved by this teenager, and that doesn't make sense either. So basically it was a bit of a stretch of the imagination. I don't think it was as good as the first book, but there were some parts I really enjoyed, so it was okay. Then when I got home on Sunday, I really just couldn't be bothered doing anything. I didn't even write my NaNoWriMo words, which means I'm still a day behind, even now on Tuesday, because I didn't catch up yesterday, and who knows when I'll catch up. But what I did do on Sunday is read the whole of the Monstress series. I love this series. I will say, even on a reread, it's still quite complex and there are still some bits I'm not sure I understand, but the art is so beautiful and some of the characters are so lovely. There's this little fox girl, you can see her there. She's so cute, and even these books will be counting towards my Bookemon Catchathon, Readathon, and in volume 3, some of the stuff Kipper, the little fox girl, was saying just made me tear up. She's so adorable and lovely and strong, and she's my favorite character in this whole series, even though like Micah, the lady here, is our main character. She's real badass and tough, but Kipper is just so cute. The art is beautiful. So it all makes up for the fact that it's a very complex story. I think that when the next volume comes out, I'm just going to reread the whole series again, and I'll just keep doing that because there's so many cool ideas in here that I feel like I could just read it over and over and that would be fine. Plus the art is beautiful. I love this so much. If you haven't heard about this series, basically we follow this girl named Micah Halfwolf who has this demon inside her. This guy is inside her, and she's off trying to figure out what's happened to her mother and what's the deal with this demon, at the same time as there's this big war going on between the humans and the Arcanics. The Arcanics are half human, half ancients, and the ancients are like these animal people. And there's cats, talking cats, who are all necromancers and have different powers. It's just, even though I'm often confused in this, I think it's one of my favorite graphic novel series. For sure. I definitely recommend this, and I'm so glad to have read it. The other thing that I was supposed to read was Weather Child. I never finished this off, but I did finish off Peeps, so I think overall I still did okay. Like, I didn't read everything I was planning to during the week, but I still read some really good stuff, and that's what's important. Okay, so since it's Tuesday, I better go and actually start the new week. I'm a little bit behind, but that's okay. Do let me know if you've read any of the books that I read this week, and we can talk about them down in the comments. Otherwise, I hope that you're having a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.